Easy Bake Oven. The Easy Bake Oven was first introduced in 1963 as a toy that let children to bake cookies and cakes using a compact, child-friendly oven. The original model used a side-loading design where trays were inserted from the side. Instead of real flames, it used a light bulb as a heat source. The toy made children feel like grown-ups in the kitchen, and within its first year more than 500,000 units were sold. In 2006, a redesigned version was released that more closely resembled a real oven, with food inserted through a front opening. Because the opening was larger, some children were able to reach inside the oven. In certain cases, their hands became stuck, while others suffered burns after touching the hot interior. In February 2007, plastic guards were distributed to prevent children from inserting their hands into the opening. But still, reports of injuries continued, and in July 2007, about 1 million units were recalled. In total, 278 reports were received of children's fingers or hands becoming stuck, including 82 cases of burns. In one severe incident, a 5-year-old child suffered serious burns after a finger became trapped and later required the tip of the finger to be amputated. Despite the large recall, the Easy Bake Oven still remains a well-known toy today, and modern versions have returned to the original side-loading design introduced in the first model. Cabbage Patch Snack Time Kids. Cabbage Patch Snack Time Kids appeared in 1996 as a new version of the already popular Cabbage Patch Kids dolls. Earlier versions were simple soft dolls designed mainly for imaginative play, without moving parts or mechanical features. This model, however, included a small internal motor that allowed the doll to eat, and it came with small plastic snack pieces for feeding. The idea of feeding a doll attracted attention because it made the toy more interactive than the traditional versions. Once it was activated, the system operated continuously, and there was no stop button to interrupt the motion. While this was intended to create a more realistic effect, it also meant the mechanism could pull in anything placed near the mouth without stopping. Soon, reports began to appear of children's fingers and hair getting trapped. In one case, a 3-year-old girl's hair became caught, and some of it was pulled out before the batteries were removed. As these incidents became more widely known, the product faced growing criticism for lacking a safety mechanism. Just 4 months after its release, the toy was recalled and production was discontinued. Customers who returned the doll were offered a $40 refund. What was meant to make the doll special ultimately became its biggest flaw: Buckyballs. In 2009, a product called Buckyballs Magnetic Desk Toy was introduced as a simple but highly addictive desk accessory. It consisted of small, colorful, and powerful magnetic spheres that could be combined to form different shapes and patterns. Buckyballs was marketed mainly to adults and intended as a stress relief toy that kept your hands occupied. At first, nothing about the product seemed dangerous. People enjoyed experimenting with the magnets, and Buckyballs quickly gained popularity through online videos showcasing creative designs. However, the strength of the magnets also created a serious risk. Some young children accidentally swallowed them after mistaking them for candy. In other cases, teenagers accidentally ingested the magnets while using them to imitate fake piercings. Inside the body, these magnets could attract each other through internal tissue, causing severe injuries such as perforations and the need for emergency surgery. As reports of injuries increased, the product drew the attention of the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission. The agency eventually sued the company and its CEO, leading to a nationwide ban. But in late 2016, the ban was overturned, and the magnets returned to the market as an adult novelty gadget. Sky Dancers. Sky Dancers is a colorful fairy-themed toy released in 1994 that can spin and launch into the air. The toy works by placing the doll onto a small launcher and pulling a string, causing its wings to rotate rapidly and lift it upward like a miniature helicopter. Its bright design and unusual flying motion quickly made it popular, and the toy soon became extremely successful. Over time, more than 30 million units were sold worldwide. That same flying feature, however, eventually raised safety concerns. The spinning figures sometimes veered in unpredictable directions, striking anyone nearby. Because the wings rotated at high speed, even brief contact could cause cuts, bruises, or in some cases even broken ribs. Although the wings were covered with soft foam, they contained a rigid plastic core, which made the impact far more dangerous than it appeared. According to the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, more than 150 injuries were reported. As these incidents continued to accumulate, calls for action increased. In 2000, the toy was recalled in multiple countries, and nearly 9 million units were collected as part of the safety action. Clackers. Clackers were developed in the late 1960s and consisted of two hard balls attached to a string. By moving the hand up and down, the balls swung and struck each other above and below, producing a loud, rhythmic clacking sound. Much of its appeal came from its simplicity and the coordination needed to control it. As people practiced, they often tried swinging the balls faster, increasing both the speed and the force of each impact. The louder and sharper the sound, the more skill it seemed to require. This repeated impact placed heavy stress on the materials. The balls were often made from glass or acrylic, which could not always withstand constant high-speed collisions. Each impact could create small cracks in the surface, and over time these cracks spread until the balls eventually shattered, sending sharp fragments outward. Some people suffered cuts and eye injuries caused by the flying fragments. There were also users who were unable to control the balls properly and ended up striking their own arms or faces, sometimes leaving bruises. In the United States, the toy even earned the nickname Knucklebusters. In 1971, stricter safety regulations were introduced as concerns about injuries grew. By 1985, the toy had been completely banned in several places. Aquadots. In 2007, multiple children in the United States and Australia suddenly fell unconscious. Some experienced severe symptoms such as vomiting, breathing difficulties, leading to emergency hospitalization. As these cases began to attract attention, investigators searched for the cause. They soon discovered that all of the children had used the same product. Aquadots, also known as bindis, a popular craft toy that used small, colorful beads. Children could arrange the beads into pictures or patterns and then spray them with water, causing them to fuse together without heat or glue. The toy was marketed as a safe, mess-free activity and quickly became popular in homes and schools around the world, even winning Australian Toy of the Year. However, laboratory testing soon revealed a serious problem. The beads were originally supposed to use a safe adhesive chemical called 1,5-pentanediol, but a Chinese manufacturing facility had substituted it with a cheaper chemical, 1,4-butanediol, apparently to reduce costs. Once inside the body, 1,4-butanediol can be converted into a substance similar to a powerful sedative. This explained why the children had suddenly lost consciousness. As more information emerged, authorities moved quickly. The product was recalled in multiple countries, and retailers removed it from store shelves. Aquadots. In 2007, multiple children in the United States and Australia suddenly fell unconscious. Some experienced severe symptoms such as vomiting, breathing difficulties, leading to emergency hospitalization. As these cases began to attract attention, investigators searched for the cause. They soon discovered that all of the children had used the same product. Aquadots, also known as bindis, a popular craft toy that used small, colorful beads. Children could arrange the beads into pictures or patterns and then spray them with water, causing them to fuse together without heat or glue. The toy was marketed as a safe, mess-free activity and quickly became popular in homes and schools around the world, even winning Australian Toy of the Year. However, laboratory testing soon revealed a serious problem. The beads were originally supposed to use a safe adhesive chemical called 1,5-pentanediol, but a Chinese manufacturing facility had substituted it with a cheaper chemical, 1,4-butanediol, apparently to reduce costs. Once inside the body, 1,4-butanediol can be converted into a substance similar to a powerful sedative. This explained why the children had suddenly lost consciousness. As more information emerged, authorities moved quickly. The product was recalled in multiple countries, and retailers removed it from store shelves.